Right, guys, today I wanted to make a video on who needs to spend the most money this summer. So I've picked three teams who I feel each have a case for needing to spend the most money on players this summer. And yes, I am making this video to distract myself from the game last night. I'll be honest, it's hard. But yeah, so first of all, Tottenham. Now, Tottenham have a very good starting 11 currently. They have a good forward line in Son, Kane, and Kulusevski or Lucas Moura. And their midfields and wing backs aren't too bad. Their first choice ones, that is Bentancur, Højbjerg, and also on the wing backs you've got Doherty and Emerson Royale, and then on the left you've got Reguilon and Sessegnon. And also their defence is quite good. However, in terms of backups, as I've just said with the wing backs, Emerson Royal hasn't been good enough, and Doherty, is he really good enough to be first choice? So there's definitely reasons, and also the fact that they are going from I was going to say playing no European football, but they were in the Conference League last year, but they didn't really try in that, let's be honest. But they're going from not playing any European football for half of last season to now being back into the Champions League for the first time since 2020. Yeah, they got knocked out by Leipzig in 2020. So yeah, they definitely need a bigger squad, and that is one reason why they need to spend money. I think they need a centre back because Romero and Dyer have been very good in the back three. However, Ben Davies hasn't been bad, but I think they could upgrade on him, and Davis would be a more than reliable backup in that position, as well as players like Davinson Sanchez. They're not bad backups either, and Tanganga and a couple of others as well, Joe Rodon. They also could do with another midfielder because their backup options behind Bentancur and Højbjerg are currently Skip, Winks, and Dombele's coming back from his loan at Lyon, but I still think they can improve on that as well. So maybe another midfielder and definitely a right wing back and possibly another forward. And maybe even try and sign a goalkeeper because Galini, on the few occasions he has played, hasn't looked great, and Lloris is knocking on a bit now. So there's definitely reasons why they need to spend money, Tottenham. Whether Daniel Levy will do so, we'll find out. And then I'm going to go to Man United. Obviously, they've spent ridiculous amounts of money over the past few years, and they have not spent well. However, we are led to believe at the moment that with Eric Ten Hag coming in, it's the beginning of a new era at Man United. Now, we've obviously heard this before, but Ten Hag has done a very good job at Ajax, and if he can sort of reshape the way that Man United is run, then that'll be something for them, I guess. But what they need to do is they need to focus on young players coming up who are already very good, like what Man City and Liverpool do. Sign players between an age bracket of about 22 to 26, so they're very good at the moment, but also have their best years ahead of them, which Man United haven't done in the past. The positions they need to improve on, they need a centre back, they need a full back on probably on the right. They need definitely a holding midfielder, possibly a number 8, and maybe a striker as well, because you're only going to have Cristiano Ronaldo for another season. So yeah, they definitely need to spend a bit of money. However, you could argue that they also need to get rid of a lot of players as well. So maybe it's not so much spending, maybe it's bringing in money as well as spending it. So effectively, the net loss wouldn't be that much, or as much as maybe Tottenham's, if like with what they need to spend. And then the final team I've picked is West Ham, because West Ham are in Europe again next season, although it is sort of down a division, if you like, in the Europa Conference League. As they finished 7th, it was in their hands on the final day with United losing to Palace, but they managed to lose a 1-0 lead to Brighton in the end, I think. So yeah, not great, but again, similar to Tottenham, their starting 11 is quite good, and they were impacted by injuries at the back end of the last season. I think Ogbonna missed a huge part of the season. Zuma was out for periods. Who else was missing? There were another couple of injuries that sort of harmed their chances of getting into the Europa League and Champions League. And yeah, behind their starting 11, they need some backups, because they've got a very good starting 11. They've got Mikel Antonio. And behind him they've got Jarrett Bowen, Pablo Fornals, and then either Benrahma or Lanzini. So they've got one real backup option that is quality in attack, and that's either Lanzini or Benrahma, depending on who does and who doesn't start, because Nikola Vlasic hasn't proved himself at all, I don't think, since he's been at the club. They've got Rice and Souček in midfield, and obviously with Mark Noble exiting, they need another midfielder, because you can't rely on 2 midfielders all season. And then also in defence, they've got a few options at centre-back with Dawson, Diop, Ogbonna and Zuma. So I think centre-back, they're probably fine. Right-back, Soufal and Ben Johnson, fine there as well. And then left-back, Cresswell and Masuaku. Maybe you could upgrade on Masuaku. He can be a bit unreliable. And they could also possibly do with a goalkeeper, or well, that depends on if they've got Areola permanently, which I don't think they have. So there are definitely a lot of signings that West Ham need to make as well. So for me, I'm going to say either Tottenham or West Ham, because I think with Man United, the answer to that is that they also need to get rid of quite a lot of players as well. So they could generate quite a bit of money through that. I'm going to say Tottenham though, because obviously they're in the Champions League, so they do need a higher quality of player as well compared to West Ham. And also Tottenham, with all due respect to West Ham, are seen as a bigger club or a more attractive club to join. So they are more likely to sign the top players, the more expensive players. So I think the answer is Tottenham need to spend the biggest. However, I don't think that's going to happen, purely because Daniel Levy can be very tight with his money. So yeah, my answer would be Tottenham need to, but I don't think they will. And yeah, I've already set the positions. I think they need definitely another attacker to back up the front 4. Well, only 3 of them play at once, but you get what I mean. I'm adding Lucas Moura into that bracket. They've also got Steven Bergwijn, I guess, though, but they definitely need someone else like Gabriel Jesus, who they've been linked with recently, and another midfielder, another right wing back, and another centre back, and possibly a goalkeeper is what I think they need this summer. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.